Hello. Hi, I'm going to give maybe a couple of people a chance to come on in. If not, I'll go ahead and get started. My name is Shelly Moise, and I am the owner and operator of the company. Hi, Mom. Thank you for joining me tonight, Mom. Again, my name is Shelly Moise, and I own and operate the company Noel's Garden, Bath and Body. Hi, how are you? I'm glad that you guys joined me today. I was scared that I had started too late. It's 5 p.m. in the evening here for me. So I was really scared that hi Mom, that I had started too late. So I'm going to go ahead and slide the camera down so that you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. And in here, I already have a combination. I know my mom is on the East Coast, so I keep track of East Coast time. But it's kind of hard for me to balance East Coast time with Honolulu time because it's 6 hours time difference. But I'm going to try. I'm going to work on it. I realize that not everybody is West Coast or on my time zone. So I'm going to work on doing a little bit better. So to start with, this recipe has, again, we're making, this one is called Sweet Patchouli, and it's a Sweet Patchouli bath tea. So in this particular batch, I have 1.85 cups of combined patchouli leaves and dandelion leaves. So I'll show you my patchouli. Let me grab the patchouli. This is my patchouli herb here. And let me set that aside. From the same company, this is my dandelion leaf. Monterey Bay Spice Company. So I have that in here. And you can decide how much of each you want in there. What I would suggest is smell them first to see how... Hi, Veronica Fool! Smell them first to see how... This is going to be my first time. My first time making it. My first time attempting to sell it. So I'm going to see how this... Hi, Veronica! I'm going to see how this first batch goes and whether or not I like it. And then we'll kind of go from there. So you can kind of decide based on the smell, the scent of the patchouli and the scent of the dandelion leaves, whether or not you want to add a little or a lot. But when I designed this recipe, I knew that I wanted botanicals. No one ever asked me for it with my company. And they very well may not. The truth of it is, it may sell, it may not sell. I forgot my phone so that I can see exactly what's being said. The truth is, it may sell, it may not sell. But let's get set up here. I always forget. There we go. Do you guys hear an echo? No, what I'm going to use... No, okay, good. I have sprayed these jars with alcohol. So I'm going to wipe these down and I'm going to package them in the jars. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see. I won't know unless I try it out. There is another company called Ouish, Ouish. She makes bath teas. Her recipe is different from mine, of course. But how do people use it with all the residue in the bottom? So here's what I intend to do. I am going to put it in a jar similar to this. And when I sell it, I'm going to tie a piece of twine around here. And hanging from the twine, I'll have a muslin bag, and it's got a little wooden scoop that's going to go in there. So they'll have the option, when I sell this, I'll tell them they can either scoop it and just let it sit in the tub free and place a bath cloth, a face cloth over the drain when it comes time for them to drain their tub. That way none of the botanicals go down the drain. Or they can just scoop it and put it in the muslin bag and take their bath with it in the bag. Either way, I'll tell them how to protect their tub. I hope so. I have 5 recipes. I don't think I'm going to scope all 5 of them, but I have 5 different, I wouldn't say 5 different recipes, because the only thing that's different is the fragrance and the botanicals. But I have 5 different sets I'm going to make, and there'll be 5 jars of each. So, we'll see. I have a soap that goes with each of these fragrances, and I do have some giant tea bags. Yes, I actually do have some tea bags that I purchased, but I don't know, I just like the idea of the muslin bag. I think because it's easier with the string being on a muslin bag, it's going to be easier for me to get the muslin bag and the scoop to the customer, because it'll just be tied on the twine. But I did play around with buying a cute little box and putting the tea into bags and then just selling it as a box. I thought about doing that as well. But I just thought this way would, I just kind of thought this way, one, would be easier for me, especially by it being my first time. But either way, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll go well, maybe it won't. But, we'll see. If it goes well, I'll stay with this. If it doesn't, then I'll change it up. Now, I need to mention, I am selling these at a craft fair. I'm selling these at a craft fair next Saturday. So online, if I was going to do this, I would probably do it a different way. This is not how I intend to do it in the future once we move and I set up permanently. This is specifically set up with the jar, the soap to match, and then the bath truffles to match, just so that people can see them on Saturday, pick them up for a quick Mother's Day gift, and then be on their way with a nice little bath and body set. Yeah, I wouldn't want to ship it this way. It's a little bit too unstable for my taste. So this is just for like a little Mother's Day gift here at my craft fair on Saturdays. Not tomorrow, Saturday the 7th, I think it is, the 7th of May. So I have 1.85 cups of patchouli and dandelion leaves. Yes, exactly. This is the limited edition packaging. That's right. And to this, I'm going to add 1.2 cups of Mediterranean sea salt, 1.2 cups of dead sea salt, 1.6 6 cups of shredded cocoa butter, 1.2 cups of Epsom salt, 1.2 cups of baking soda, 1.2 cups of citric acid, 0.8 cups of milk powder, 0.8 cups of oat powder, 0.65 cups of kaolin clay, half of an ounce of fragrance, and 1.2 ounces of dendritic salt. In here, I have already combined my dendritic salt and my fragrance. And that sat for 2 nights. I want to see what this shredded butter looks like. Oh, let me show you. It looks like this. It took me forever to shred it all up. It took me forever to shred all of that up. But I had big, huge clumps of cocoa butter from Wholesale Supplies Plus, and I just took one of the little cheese graters that I had at home. I sprayed it with alcohol and cleaned it, and just watched Periscope and grated my cocoa butter. That's what I did. It took me forever. So first I'm going to get started. The dandelion leaves came a little bit bigger than I expected. This is a regular. The skin will feel so smooth. I hope so. That's the goal. You know, I don't know, because the cocoa butter is oily, and I would worry that it would stick together in a food processor, but you never know. You never know. I'm going to grind this up in my coffee grinder just a bit. I have cleaned this out. The only thing that may be in this coffee grinder would be maybe some lavender, because I ground up a little bit of lavender the other day. But let's try to get this somewhat. And I don't want it ground up too small, just a little smaller than it is right now. Not too small. Because I definitely want botanicals. You know, I don't want a bunch of ground stuff. I want botanicals. Okay, I think that's about what I want there. Okay, I think we can get started now. So that's patchouli and dandelion leaves. And then we're going to go with 1.2 cups of Mediterranean sea salt. Now here, Crafter's Choice calls it European spa salt. But it's Mediterranean sea salt. So, I haven't even opened it yet. Let me get some scissors. Oh, here they are. Okay. Okay, so we said 1.2 cups. Where's my small cup? Oh, I'm sorry. So this is a half a cup that I'm working with. That's half. There's something in my salt. Not exactly sure what that was. Half, 1, and we want 1.2. So we're going to go with just a little bit below half of this. So that's 1.2 cups. My rule is use it and move it. That's the rule. That way we don't use something twice like I did the other night. 1.2 cups of dead sea salt. There we go. Half. 1. Then a little less than half. I'm going to add the cocoa butter last because that's oily. 1.2 cups of Epsom salt. Well, half. 1. And then a little under a half. $1.2 cups of baking soda. Let's stir this. Let me grab my whisk. Here it is. Let's break up these clumps in this Epsom salt. Epsom salt. I like the way that look already. Okay, so now we have 1.2 cups of baking soda. Half. 1. And a little under half. $1.2 cups of citric acid. Half. 1. 0.8 cups of milk powder. I don't need that. So that's half of a cup. And a little over that half. Oh, forgot my oat straw. And then we're going to use the same 0.8 of a cup of oat powder. There's half. And a little over half. Oat powder. Gonna wipe that out. Then 0.65 of a cup of kaolin clay. So that's half of a cup. Yeah, and then just a little bit in there. Oh, let's keep that over here. Okay. So we're going to mix this up really good. I should have used a bigger bowl, but my cocoa butter is in there. Remember the other day when I was talking about how dark, I didn't wear it again. Remember yesterday, I think it was, and I was talking about how dark my oat powder is? That's my oat powder. That's the reason why I can't put my oat powder in all of my bath truffles. Because it's so dark. It really discolors everything. But there's no SLSA in this one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I should have grabbed me a spatula. There we go. My intention was to make my first batch off camera so that I would be a little bit more prepared. I know I need to do better, but I did reserve my domain name today. I did do that. But I need to do better. Take care of my lungs. So this, like I said, is dendritic salt. I am making a bath tea. Who is that, Callie? Yes, I'm making a bath tea. This one is sweet patchouli. If I call it a foaming bath salt soak. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's a salt soak. This mixture here is 1.2 cups of dendritic salt and a half of an ounce of my fragrance. So I'm going to add this mixture in. My Cam wants to say hi. Cammy, come say hi.
Hello.
Say hello, and then you got to get out the way. Say hi.
Hello, Grandma.
She's on there. Okay, Cam.
Bye-bye, Grandma.
Her name is Camilla. So I want to get all of this salt and fragrance out, but it's not an absolute big deal if I don't, because I'm going to use this jar again as one of the jars that I'm going to put the product in, since it already has the scent in here. Okay. And the last thing I'm going to add is, let's get this salt in here very well, because that's got all of the fragrance in there. How much does that make? Well, when I measured it out in cups, like on paper, when I measured it out, it should get each jar. This is 2 cups. This will take me to 2.5 cups. It should take me just a hair above 2.5, so that each jar should be full. But now, you know, that's kind of in theory. So, you know, with botanicals, they don't lay down flat like salt would. So I'm not exactly sure how much this is going to measure out. Some of these botanicals I don't think I want in here. But like I said, initially, my intention was to make this first batch off camera so that I could kind of see how everything was going to go before I made it live on Periscope. But I wasn't feeling so well this morning. I had a migraine, and that set me back. How many jars will I have? I should have 5 jars at the end. At least that's what I planned for. I planned for 5 jars. Okay, now we're going to add this cocoa butter. And the cocoa butter should be 1.6 cups. Let me grab a paper towel, because I used this measuring cup earlier for the cocoa butter and then again for the herbs. So it may not look fresh, but that's only because I used it earlier today when I measured out my herbs. It's not because it was a yucky measuring cup. Okay, So we said 1.6 cups. So that's a half. And you see how that stuck in there? What type of herbs? It's not green tea. I used, hold on, let me finish this so I don't lose count. And then I'll show you. 1 cup. And we said 1.6. So you see how this is kind of sticking in here? That's why I'm not so sure about a food processor. Because I would be concerned about that sticking. And just a hair over, 1.6. Okay. That's a lot in this bowl. Yeah, so maybe calling it a bath soak, a bath salt soak would be a better name. Maybe I would confuse people if I said tea. Can I mix it with my hands better? Let's see. Hi, Intuitive Now. Thank you for joining me. I am making well, here I have it called in my notes, a foaming bath salt soak. That's what I called it in my notes. But I was just asking if maybe I should call it a bath tea, or should I just stick with the salt soak? Because I think if I call it a tea, people may be a little bit confused about what to do with it, you know, exactly what it is. But I think if I call it a salt soak, then people will know exactly what it is. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Maybe not to be so fancy with the names and just call it something that people understand and will know right away. Okay, now just to get into my corners a little bit. Hi Inez, I saw you join. Can you call it a bath tea, then give a description? I absolutely can. I absolutely can. No doubt about that, I can. I'm just wondering, you know, just from a standpoint, just wondering, you know, it's going to be this is my first time making it. It'll definitely be my first time selling it. So just, you know, kind of wondering what's the best use of words to get, you know, to get the sale, to get people to know right away what it is and why they should buy it, why they can't live without it. Because that's what we want, right? We want our customers to understand that they cannot live without this product. I like bath tea. Yeah, I think bath tea sounds really interesting, but here's the thing. This, even though it's a limited edition, this fragrance right here that I'm using is strawberry patchouli. It's an awesome fragrance, but it is a fragrance that men could definitely use. Like a man could be comfortable after the gym soaking in this and not feeling like this scent is too girly for him. So I want to make sure that if I use bath tea, if I use that word bath tea, that I'm not scaring men away. Now, having said that, do I have a lot of male customers? No, I don't. No, I don't. They are usually women. At my last craft fair, my very first customer was a man, and I think that was the only male customer I had that whole day. All right. So, let's see what we got here. No men go to spas too and enjoy it. No, they don't. Put a little bit more in there. That's what we're going to go with for now. Hey, Rita, I didn't see Rita come in. So this is what this is going to look like when it's all packaged up. Well, that's what it looks like now. I won't say that's what it's going to look like when it's all packaged up. Let me grab a top. Oh, here's my top. So when it's all packaged up, I'll have my twine. Thank you. Who said that was you? Thank you, Inez. What it'll have the twine around here, and then from the twine will love patchouli. I have a lot of customers that ask me for patchouli. So this time I said I need to make sure that I have products that have patchouli in them. Thank you. So I'm going to have my twine around here. Okay. And then hanging from my twine will be a muslin bag. You can't hear me? Oh, you have a lot of customers. Yeah. Will be a muslin bag, and inside my muslin bag will be a little wooden scoop. So when I hand this to them, they'll have the option to either scoop this right out and put it into the tub so that the citric acid and the baking soda will give them a little fizz, or they can put it in the muslin bag and not worry about the botanicals at all. But I'll let them know if they want to put it directly in the tub, which is actually how I recommend it. Then they'll just have to put a washcloth over the drain so that the botanicals don't go down the tub. Uh-oh, that was my top. Yep, so that the botanicals don't go down the drain. But this is my bath soak. And I have, again, I'm going to do this in 5 different scents. So this base is very versatile. Rita told me to make sure that I soaked the fragrance in the dendritic salt. Am I still going out? Am I still going in and out? Because I know on my last one we had problems with hearing me. Oh, okay. Yep, so Rita was the one that told me to go ahead and soak my fragrance in the dendritic salt overnight, so I did that. And this smells really, really awesome. That dendritic salt really held the fragrance very, very well. Yep, and that's exactly what I did, Rita. I took your advice. I went on ahead and put that salt in there, and I let it soak in, and it really made a big difference with soaking that in that dendritic salt first and then adding it in here. So again, it's a very versatile recipe. I did that, like I said, this is number one. I have 20 more different containers I need to fill, 5 of this, and then I'm gonna do it again with a whole different scent. Do it again with another scent, again with another scent, and again with another scent. I have 5 sets that I have to make. So all you do is just be a little bit, let's lift me up now. Yep, you just want to make sure that you're versatile in your botanicals. This was patchouli and, oh, I don't know. Well, this container here, this in here is a little over 2.5 cups. That's what this is right here, a little over 2.5 cups. And this batch makes 5 of these. So this makes a lot. But I have, like in this recipe, the botanicals were patchouli and dandelion leaves. In my next recipe, which is called Mary Marigold, I'm going to have calendula and I think dandelion leaves. That's what it looks like. Will you sell it? Yes. So this is going to be for Mother's Day. I have this, and then I have a soap in this fragrance, and I have a bath truffle in this fragrance. So I'm going to sell the 3 together as a set, but I'm not sure how much yet, and I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to do it in a basket. If I had more time, I would do it in a basket, but I still, exactly, gifts for Mother's Day, but I still in the next week need to learn how to use my square stuff. I've never in the past taken credit cards, so I need to learn how to use my square, and I need to figure out labeling. So I'm not sure if I'll have time to actually make baskets, or if I'll just sell it, or if I'll just sell them as separates. But in another recipe, I'm going to use calendula. I think it is too. I think it is too, especially this. My soaps are pretty set. The truffles, I'm not exactly sure how much I'm going to sell them for. But this, I'm not going to cheat myself with. I'm not going to lowball on this. And I used to write out all my labels when I first started. You know, I typed out my labels initially. Truffles do not lower price. What do you think is a good price for them? Because this is going to be my first time selling truffles. While she's answering, so you can use calendula leaves, which is what I have. Really? For one? I was going to sell myself really short. I'm really glad that I asked that question. You know, which is another thing too. We can't be afraid to ask each other for help. If you know that there is something that you don't know, because sometimes it's the hardest part. What do I don't know? I know what I know, but what do I don't know? You got to ask for help, because yes, it is a cost to make the product. And I'm almost embarrassed to tell you what I was going to sell them for, but I know I'm not going to sell them for that now. I'm so glad that I asked that question. I was going to sell them 2 for $5. Yeah, I was gonna do. Yeah, I was gonna do 3 for $1 or 2 for $5. I mean, one of them for $3, two of them for $5. That's exactly what I was gonna do. So now I'm not gonna do that. I'm so glad that I asked that question. Another tea that I'm gonna do, another salt soak that I'm gonna do, is a lavender and chamomile. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sell them 1 for $5. Yeah. A lavender chamomile is one that I'm going to do. I'm going to do one with calendula, but I'm not exactly sure what botanical I'm going to do with that calendula, but I may just do calendula. And then I have some cornflowers and some rose petals. I'm going to do that one for Aloha, my fragrance Aloha. I have some chamomile and comfrey that I'm going to do for my oatmeal milk and honey. So if you're going to do this, what I would suggest is to stock up on your botanicals. Make sure that you are well stocked on, your baking soda and your citric acid, and be creative. I saw a bath tea on the Soper's page, Ouish, Ouish. She has a website as well. She does YouTube videos, and she has bath teas, but her formula, again, was not what I was looking for. So I just kept looking and asking questions. Hey, can I do this? Okay. Hey, oh, by the way, you did good on your scope today. I caught your scope. You did great in your scope. Ask questions. Hey, like I had to ask Rita, naturally me and you, I said, hey, what's the best way to do my fragrance and this salt? And she was the one that told me to soak your, she was the one that told me to soak my fragrance in the salt. And she didn't just say, hey, soak your fragrance in the salt. She told me to go buy some dendritic salt, which is a special kind of salt. It has the largest surface, and it is known best for its ability to soak in flavors and fragrances. Of all of the salts, its ability to absorb fragrances and flavors. So I did, and it worked out so well for me. So be creative. The lavender buds, I thought maybe I should grind them up, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put the lavender buds in there. A bigger surface area, right? The same with my chamomile and my comfrey. I'm just going to put it in there. Add my salts and everything to it, and we're just going to go for it. Am I nervous? Yeah, I'm really nervous. I'm not sure if it's going to sell, if people are going to like it, but you won't know unless you try. Won't know unless you try. The same with my bath scoops, the truffles. I've never sold them before. First time for everything. I won't know unless I try. Do you guys have any questions for me? So that leads me to another question. Well, no, because I was going to scope another one, and I may scope doing another one. It'll be a great time for me. It's only 5:40 in the evening for me. But even if nobody watches, you can always catch the replay. So I think I will scope. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rita. That means a lot. I think I'm going to scope the Aloha one because that one's pretty colorful. The cornflowers are blue and then the rose petals are red. So I'm going to finish with these and then clean up. So it's going to be a while before I do the next scope because I need to finish this and then clean up because I don't have a whole lot of bowls. I don't have a lot at all. I know, and my mom is on this scope. So I've got my mom up really late too. Yeah, my mom's up watching this scope. She's probably falling asleep. Mom, are you still there? I don't know. It's pretty late for my mom. Yeah, she may have gone to sleep. But I'm going to let you guys go. I am going to do the Aloha one on scope. Oh, there she is. There she is. No, not right now, Cam. Please get down. Go back over. Go back over. Thank you. Yep, so I'm going to catch you guys later. Finish up here and scope the Aloha one. But again, if you're on the East Coast, unless you're on the West Coast, it's going to be pretty late for you. So please check me out on the replay. Thank you. Okay, thank you all for all of the hearts. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying up with me. Thank you for tweeting it out. Just thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys have an outstanding night. Bye.